All right, fourth graders, let's continue our lesson and remember what our goals are here today is really to understand subject and object pronouns, but specifically how to make sure our writing is grammatically correct and that we're speaking like appropriate English speakers as we are. Unless you speak another language, then you are bilingual or trilingual. Bi meaning two, tri meaning three. So maybe you speak more than one language. Lucky for you. So let's go ahead and correct. Make sure you have your pen. Remember, we're going to only rewrite sentences number 2, 3, and 6. The rest will make corrections. Myself am very excited to see the movie. Would you really talk like that? Would you really write that? No. So what did you do instead? I am very excited to see the movie. Hopefully you did that. So do you see how it's not necessarily that I know the difference specifically all the time, but that it doesn't sound right. Okay? Do you want to travel with we in the car? Oh, seriously. He knows how hard that is to read? All right, what'd you come up with? Do you want to travel with us in the car? So here again, instead of we use us. Instead of myself, I use I. So that's when do you use the right pronoun? So that's really all it is. So those of you that are like, oh, this subject and object, trying to remember, it's really using the right pronoun, isn't it? All right, this next one, you were just supposed to make corrections. Them brought flowers in from outside. Oh, good Lord, I could barely read that. They brought flowers. So if you just crossed out them and you wrote the word they, that's fine. You didn't need to write the rest of the sentence. Maybe some of you did, but it should have been they. Okay? Them is a pronoun. Absolutely. But it's not. It's like having subject verb agreement, isn't it? Number 5, it was her who scored the highest on the test. It was her who scored. Yeah, this one is a little bit trickier, but it should be it was she who scored. So if you crossed out her and put she, you would be correct. Okay? They're both pronouns, but one is grammatically correct. Number 6, itself was quite fluffy and soft. Itself was quite fluffy and soft? Really? It was quite fluffy and soft. I was going to say sluffy. That'd be a new word, wouldn't it? So itself really should just be it. So you got to be careful using that reflexive self or selves. It's not always going to work. So in the end, can you use the right pronoun is what we're asking. And if you did, you're on the right track. All right? All right, so let's continue here. And once again, now we're going to move to really the spelling portion of our unit. And remember, your goal is to identify and read and spell correctly inflectional endings and R-controlled vowel syllables. Remember, if you're following the tutorial or you're going to complete it independently, please indicate that as well too. All right, so we are on inflectional endings and R-controlled vowel syllables. Okay, so what we're going to do for section A is we're going to read each sentence. We're going to circle the word with an inflectional ending. Now remember, an inflectional ending means it's putting an ending to a word and it's going to change the meaning. We've had endings such as, say, ing, ed, est, things like that. Those would be considered inflectional endings, all right? So they're parts that we add to a base or root word. It changes the meaning. They're really like suffixes too. And then we're going to write the base word, some of us call it root word, and the inflectional ending on the line. So what they want us to do is we read the sentence, we find the base word, and then we find the inflectional ending. So let's go ahead and complete in pencil. Let's look at the first sentence. The students got merrier when they heard about the field trip. Now students have an S, but it doesn't change the meaning necessarily of that word. It just means there's more than one. The word I'm going to look for right now is merrier. Okay, so I look at that word and now I need to figure out what the base word is. Okay, so how does that word stand alone? Well, maybe it would be easier for you to start with the inflectional ending first. What ending did they put to this word? ER, right? Now you see that there, if I look really at the word merrier, I see then I have left MERRI. Okay, that's what Miss N has left, right? But remember that Y was probably a what? Yeah, it's probably a Y. So the base or root word is marry. So I go from marry to marrier to what? Merriest, right? Yeah. So now I'm using those descriptive type words and using that more like that comparative. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try one more. So let's try it again. After the victory, he was the happiest he had ever seen. He had ever been. Sorry. The word is happiest. Okay. So now it says, oh, I guess you're supposed to circle the word, but Miss N highlighted. So I guess you can just circle or highlight. Miss N is not going to be too worried. So this one's a little bit easier. What is my root or base word? Happy, ended in a Y. What was the inflectional ending? How did I change the ending? I added EST. You got it now? You ready? So now here you go. You can do the rest on your own. Miss N will be reading 3 through 6. Otherwise, you can go on your own. Number 3, the speed of the race car, varied throughout the day. The speed of the race car varied throughout the day. Pause and mark your answer. 4, my brother was the dizziest after we all did cartwheels. My brother was the dizziest after we all did cartwheels. Number 5, Dad is always jumpier after he has a few cups of coffee. Dad is always jumpier after he has a few cups of coffee. 6, she has all the abilities to be a successful scientist. She has all the abilities to be a successful scientist. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see about making sure if we can do this independently. So let's check what we got. All right, make sure you're honest and just go ahead and check your work here. The speed of the race car varied throughout the day. Well, I see an ending. Oops, this end's got a cheat. Varied, okay. And so my ending is ED, but my base word would be what? Vary. Vary means to change. Good. My brother was the dizziest after we all did cartwheels. Dizziest. Good. EST. What's my base word or root word? Dizzy. Good. Dad is always jumpier after he has a few cups of coffee. Jumpier. What's my ending? ER. My base word? Jumpy. Oh, they all end in Y. So now you know when you're going to go spell those words, you need to drop the Y, don't you? And then add your ending. She has all the abilities to be a successful scientist. What do you think? Abilities. Okay. What's your ending? ES. Base word. Ability. Okay. All right. How would you do on that? All right. So let's go ahead and let's go to part B. Read each word. Oops. I got my highlighter on, didn't I? Draw a line to match each word with its R-controlled vowel. Then write the R-controlled vowel syllable. Now, some of you are probably thinking what vowel syllables are. Well, I would like you to watch the following video. This will be a great review for those of you that, and this is for everybody. I don't think we talk enough about what is a vowel syllable. I would like everybody to watch this video. It's on Unit 4 under Grammar, and it's underneath the preposition song next to the games. And it's from Learn Zillion. It's just really teachers teaching
How do you recognize how many syllables?
And it's not very long. I think it's about 4 minutes. So go ahead and watch it, and then we'll continue with the lesson. All right? All right, good review. Now remember, that's important that you know that, is that in order to be the best speller, you have to kind of be a detective and really think about those vowel patterns and how we really split up words in the English language. So let's go ahead. If we see the word depart, what is the R control vowel syllable? We have AR, right? Okay. And then what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to write the vowel syllable on the line. So if I look at depart, I break it up, D and part. Oops, I guess I should have used a straight line for that one. That's okay. All right, let's try tornado. 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 I see the O-R there. Tornado. Right? So what part does that go to? That's right. O-R. Oops. Okay. And what vowel syllable is that? T-O-R. Tor. Let me get you a line. Let me show you. Tornado. Okay. So I see three separate vowels, and they're right next to consonants, so that's an easy way to break that up. Okay. Let's go again. Reconfirm. Where do you think we're going to do with that one? Yeah, we're going to go to IR. Okay. And where's that syllable? Firm. So if we look at this word, reconfirm. Yeah. I would probably be putting my syllables in there too. Occurred. Occurred. You are? Yeah. Good. And the vowel syllable? Curd. That one's kind of a strange one. O, look at that. Curd. O stands all alone. It only has two syllables. It's not o-curd. That's even hard to say, isn't it? And of course, now we have rather, which is rather at the bottom. So we have ER, and the vowel syllable is ER. So let's take a look at that. Syllabatize it. Rather. Rather. Okay? All right. Good job. Let's continue with the next lesson. All right. Once again, make sure that you are, if you're doing the tutorial, make sure that you do it independently or follow the tutorial. Anyway, we're going to do it in pencil. Our targets today are to work with inflectional endings. And remember, this is nothing unusual for you. These are all the words that have those endings. So we should be to the point where we see an I and we're going to change it. Then we need to drop it and then add our ending. So like always, if you're going to follow along, most of you could probably complete this all independently. Those of you that are following along, please remember when I read the words, you should be reading them in your head. Let's go ahead and read those across. Funnier, replied, easily, merrier, prettily, families, varied, silliest, applied, lazier, pennies, marries, jumpier, cozily, happiest, worried, carries, emptier, sorriest, dizziest. All right, so let's look at part A. Write the spelling word that belongs with the other words in the group. Okay, so meets or dates. So I have to look at those words, like something that they have in common. Meets or dates. Well, somebody might say if you meet or maybe you marry somebody. What else? What do you think? Replied? Maybe. What do you think? Marries. Yeah. So someone meet. And remember, like always, we're going to cross it off just lightly. All right. Let's try number 6. Supports or bears. So I don't think they mean the animal bears, but if something is supportive, it's what? What do you think? Worried? Probably not. Applied? Not so sure. What do you think? Let's take a look. Carry. So if you support something, you're going to carry it. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is let's try one more. And then we're going to find the definition. Likelier to make laugh. If somebody is likelier to make you laugh, what? What do you think? Out of the words up here, I see happiest, merrier, silliest, funnier. What do you think might make sense? Funnier. All right. So make sure that you are checking these off. Did we use funnier for that one? Yeah, funnier and carries. So I'm going to cross those out and begin. Now in the next lesson, I'm going to read the rest of these through. Otherwise, let's finish on your own, but go to the next part 4 so I can read the rest. Bye-bye.